All right. Let's go. This is gonna be hard. Not quite feeling the character, but we'll do our best. There we go, musicless.
RP.
Here's what I do.
Let's see.
I know, she mentioned it before. She's like, why do you do that when you run? I was like, can I say whenever I'm playing this character and I go like, oh, I'm happy to see you, my friend. I'm just like, Graham, Zach, oh god, Because I called like that was I called everyone my friend when I was playing Zach.
Yeah, I
like, I met you, my friend. I was like, oh god, I said it, I said it, oh god.
Requesting off Crimson. I have no idea what this is gonna be, so this should be interesting. Oh, I've been invited.
Oh, you're gonna have
See you soon.
I get cuddled whatever, sometimes, not a lot, but sometimes.
Hello.
Hello, how are you doing? Sorry.
Very well. Oh. Yep, I have been here before. I've gotten the whole spiel. So,
Okay. Here's bracelet.
Yep. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
At first I didn't have motivation at all. I tried, just I couldn't get into it. But luckily Oren has been helping with that.
What's up?
Hello, Miss Sonic.
Hello.
I'm just taking care of this because they're drunk.
Can I get you something else?
Ah, okay.
Yes. They've had 3 fair nightmares, 2 fair daydreams, and a suicide.
Who is he
The tea is 600 years.
Wonder if anybody's
Miss
here.
Kaya, I think she might need some water. She's getting thirsty.
Hold on, let me take care of a customer first. You want tea? Yes?
I'll give her
Take the
water.
next
I'll give her
person.
water.
I think Miss Jazz needs water. She's getting thirsty after what you've done.
Do you want to drink?
Yes, please.
Cream or sugars?
Could I have the grapefruit sunrise?
Sugar, please. Okay.
Sure.
Jazz, come here. Jazz. Jazz. Have this.
There you go.
Okay.
That.
Yep.
18 credits.
Take that.
I'm gonna have to go over here.
And here you go.
Thank you. Next person over there.
Yep.
Your friend walks on a dark path of alcoholism.
It's all your fault.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Hi.
Well, the thing is,
Welcome,
if she
Foxglove.
is keeping things from the council, she may not be as closely aligned as we thought.
Indeed, apparently.
Potential ally,
Right.
if that turns out to be true.
Indeed. Keep an eye on her. Don't do anything stupid. Hopefully by tomorrow we can.
Imagine,
I do have a plan for tomorrow. You see, I have Miss Foxglove and I have had a nice conversation with Miss Jess.
Mm-hmm.
She's 100% in the fold now.
Good. I hope she
I know
will be.
Miss
Yep.
Jackie has addressed to quite a few people, but right now we're currently trying to go to each of them, making sure they know everything, and quell any questions or fears or anything of the like.
Wait, I gotta go grab these.
You said you spoke to
Control information.
you said you spoke to Mr. Aaron as well.
Yes, I have. I've asked him if I can trust him, and he said he does. He said he can. Asked him the question, of course, and he said no, and I've asked what he even wants.
Was there anyone else who... Yeah, was there... Who else was there who we haven't spoken to yet? Or at least out of the ones that, well... Also, is that just me?
Aaron has
There's a
goal.
terribly annoying clicking noise. I hope
I'm
that's,
hearing things from all over the place today. There's quite the echo in here, you know.
I have no idea.
almost like there's something
All
behind
we
me,
have
but...
to do is
Oh well.
get. Yes, Mr. Aaron, he'll be trustworthy. But as I was saying, the plan. I have Miss Jess, Mr. Aaron, and I'm gonna try to get Mr. Gill when I see him soon, probably after tomorrow, to go over and check up on everyone, scan them with anything to see if their cybernetics are perfect and fine after the mission, if they go, like, after missions, because as much as the good doctor is good with his work... Oh dear, it's another one. Is good with his work, he is still human after all, and I don't know if any injuries after...
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't ask.
I wish to see that.
But yes, I'm gonna ask Mr. Gill probably tonight to see if he can potentially scan everybody. If they've received any damage.
He and Cecil.
See if they have any damage and or bugs, especially Miss Raven. That'll be first, and then we can go to the others. See if they've been training or not. So we can get them back in the fold if they need to, if we can.
I don't know if the good doctor, as it were, would really care enough to put bugs in them. That's the thing. We're just little cockroaches
Well-
to him, especially those once involved in this project of yours.
We
They're
shall
Toku's
see.
problem.
Indeed.
In honesty, I don't think
We
Victor
just
would
want to
care.
be safe. We don't want to leave
Yeah.
anything to chance, because
We shall see.
it has become apparent that quite a few people think that the Hollow is all constantly on watch. At all times, throughout the entirety of it, by Strange. We have told Miss Jess that it is within only the lab and the security checkpoint. Nowhere else.
And that's usually only when the cat's around. Goes out from time to time.
Alright.
And
But yes, they're not always watching, and that is the key that people need to realize. We can communicate, we can talk. We just have to get everyone in the fold first. And take care of
Yes.
everyone who's not in the fold.
yeah, confirming that that's not the case
That's
would,
why I'm
at
working
least,
in
the very
this
least, it
angle.
would, like, I mean, even though it's, well, yeah, I mean, confirming that's not the case would just bring an air of levity, I suppose. At least to those people who maybe don't know as much and have
Now
been
it-
operating off of, false
Have any of you
pretenses.
seen a fucking bear? Yes.
That
When in
way.
there.
That way.
To the door.
In the door.
With him, actually.
Well, both of them.
And her.
There they go. But
Do
yes,
you
everything
have
doesn't
any real
change.
idea what Strange has been up to? Because he's been, like I said, so weirdly fixated on the Fallen. Has he been
As I
helping
said,
with any of your science?
he's left us
He
to
just
our own
keeps watch.
devices, which is
Presumably.
indeed, making sure that no one tries to interfere. That is what he's mostly there for. Probably watches us through the eyes of his daughter, but otherwise, yes, we are pretty much free to experiment to our leisure. Of course, that's what we actually still want to do, so it's a win-win in that scenario, and we both understand that, Strange and I. Even if we are against each other, don't like each other. I haven't stated that I do. So far, the only thing they might know is that under my watch, people have left.
Under everyone's
That
watch.
is all they know.
Now, especially AJ's.
Indeed. Which means we are going to have to get everyone together. And not have that
That's the
happen again. Because the more people that come over, the more Strange has a reason to keep an eye on them.
As you did say, you did say it just again, bringing everyone into the fold. Who is everyone?
Everyone within the Hollow. We need to be united, as it were. Right now, everyone is not in the know. They all think that they're following the whispers, which is good and all, but there are half of us who don't. What I'm trying to do is to make sure to get everyone under Mr. AJ and myself.
Some are following the Whisperers as a whole and as an idea. Some are following Deli. Some are more interested in following whoever's leader of the Hollow. There are those who still follow Slick, Jackie. It's a mess.
Indeed, and that is what I am trying to stop so we can actually start working together like a proper family.
Essentially what happened was we were told that the doctor was in that
I might have
The tiger. Yes?
I might have one single objection. And that would be Miss Yuna.
So we thought maybe we should go to this castle. Maybe there's some
Hmm.
clue as to how to get out of here.
Of
I
course.
don't know. I
We
don't know
just need to figure out,
if she
I'm
considers
working on
herself to be
that.
part. I don't know if she considers herself to be part of our family, so to say.
I don't know how that all works, but
I'm
That is
working
what we
on
are
that
trying
currently.
Indeed, that is
Glad
what
to
we're trying
hear.
to get. Mr. Shade will be investigating Miss Yuna as the best of his abilities without pressing too much into it, causing him to be revealed, which is what we don't want. So for now, all we are going to do is
my grandfather's clone was sitting there waiting for
trust
me.
in Mr. Toku for the time being.
I was getting ready
As I said earlier.
You should work the Raven angle while I work on Yuna, because they have been working one-on-one together.
run out because I was starting to hear
Between the
That's
three
right.
of us, I suppose.
woman who looked like my mother,
I
half my parents' magical artifacts.
mean, I've become, between the three of us, I would hope that, I mean, I suppose we've probably been socializing with various members of the Hollow. I would hope that we can split it up. Whichever one of us, if... Because if we wish to instill trust in Mr. AJ, I don't know if everyone would be on board in that, but at the very least, we could maybe ask them. We could ask them if they don't trust in Mr. AJ, maybe they trust in us.
Indeed, and that is what I'm trying to fix. I don't know if Mr. AJ knows the plan or not. That is the thing. And it would be quite an interesting prospect if he does know. Or if you, or he will know, I should say, when we do tell him.
I did talk to the police briefly, and they did tell me that
Because it is Toku's word after all, and Toku would know best. Because this is
Well,
how we
I
get everyone to
suppose...
follow Toku, which is what we need to do.
I suppose
Stop
if
this
he is truly
drama
loyal to
that we're
Toku.
having. Indeed, if he is truly loyal, then there we go. That is all there is to it.
From what I've seen, he's never really been loyal to anything. Cuts and runs at the first sign of adversity. So whether he'll stick around here, if things continue to go poorly for him, is questionable.
Indeed. The thing is, I think he doesn't have anywhere else to run to left. He can't run back to the Shriekers. He can't run back to the Fallen. He sure as hell can't run to the Tigers. Sure, they can strip him for parts, but that's effectively killing him.
Unless he did what he did here and just offers up intel to them. A little plea. Always a risk.
The problem is the fact that the Tigers are strict family, I believe. I'm under the assumption that if you have been a Whisperer, they will just not try to kill you. Look at what happened with Miss JC.
Fred. Fred. They'll take you if you're useful.
I might be out of the loop here.
Fred, also known as Lucky, he was Yuna's target on the first mission we went on together. And he showed up in that little Hermes video with Biker and them, wearing yellow.
There will be a
and
performance going on at this moment. Please make your way to the stage.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Whisperer turned Tiger. And apparently he gave them a bunch of intel, according to what they said in the video.
Indeed. Then we have to be careful.
Exactly.
That's just... But for the time being, I'm planning on, when I see them again, talking to Mr. Rat, Mr. Cecil, because they were there at the meeting to make sure that they are following myself and to make sure that we can actually get Jackie, Flick, and Raven back under our trust.
Jackie and Slick, yes. Cecil, yes. He follows Gil quite closely. But Raven's the only one I don't really know about.
No, I don't do catch a ride.
It's
As I
yeah.
said, we can't take any chances. Once we just do a simple scan on them, that'll be it.
All right. Well,
should be
I
fine.
suppose
Raven's personality's what's unreliable.
if
Indeed.
Always has been.
I suggest we I suggest we go over, because I have been paying attention to that, trying to figure out people's allegiances.
Raven does
Figure
not
out-
believe in loyalty. Ever. She was loyal strictly to King. Only King.
That might be problematic. Then
Yes.
Indeed. Do you think she's one for revenge?
Certainly.
I used to do a lot of singing.
We can still use that then.
Where I'm from.
Exactly.
just not in the same matter.
So if
She wants
Very special night for me.
She wants
Indeed.
revenge. She wants the symbolic revenge as well.
My favorite songs.
then all we have to do is redirect her. Since she is in the know, we have to get everything right. Also,
She's in the
mind if
know
we
and she
move?
hasn't told the council. So,
Do you mind if we move? It is good.
yeah.
Let's move to the back.
Like I said, if she was a problem, she would have told Yuna about everything. From Yuna and from the council, surely. Means at the very least she's not all on their side.
Indeed. That is a good thing we can. That is a very good point, actually. We just need to make sure that she doesn't have any devices from the good doctor. That is the key that I want to make sure we don't have to face. Once we figure that out, we should be all fine. Then
Meow.
Of course.
from people.
Meow.
Oh dear.
I was right.
Oh, whoa.
That is.
It's an astronaut cat.
Greetings.
Greetings.
I have milk.
How do you drink it through the helmets?
It is a semi-permeable visor. Only food and drinky can pass through. Invention was created by yours truly at Nyasa Corporation. Happy emoji.
Doctor,
Glug.
please kill me.
Glug. Glug.
Quickly before I have to
Glug.
listen to more of
Glug.
this.
Glug.
What do you mean? I love this.
Goodbye.
Seems very
milk.
interesting.
The relic is here. This won't work anyway.
Do you not
Indeed.
appreciate the value of that invention? Truly
Do you
remarkable.
lactose?
What?
Are you lactose intolerant? Get it? Lactose. Lactose. Ah. Ah. Ah.
Well, at least you're not lacking any toes. I'm only lacking fingers.
This is true. I was gonna say.
Damn. Daniel.
That's not about that good. But
Your
yes,
code name is now Daniel.
why that? Why?
Because
Our
of
friend
him.
has made it so.
Hello, Daniel.
Do you
How
still
in
love
hell
this?
high water have you guessed my middle name?
I am built different.
Well, you
Are you
are,
still
Captain.
enjoying this?
Are you?
Oh, that was directed at you. Not,
Oh, I'm enjoying this greatly.
fantastic. I'm glad we're all on the same page.
Indeed.
Anyway. Do go on.
Mew.
Yes, pretty much the... We're going to be trying to explain everything to everyone after we've already talked to the ones who have been told already, albeit briefly. I believe Miss Foxglove is going to be talking with Mr. Crunch, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. He did seem to trust me, so I'll see what I can do.
Indeed.
Of course, after
Much as
we... Yeah. Of course, it will be more risky going forward. We were very lucky with,
Indeed.
that, I suppose, is something, because I'm on board with, trying to rally everyone behind Mr. AJ, but once
Right
again,
now, what I am planning is to talk to everyone.
Miss Yuna,
I know we've had our concerns
Mr.
about...
Flint. I know he is apparently loyal to Toku, but he also seems fairly
Indeed.
shaky. Anyone
I'm
else
going to be
you can
talking
think
to
of?
Mr. Flint. Mr. Casey, I'm going to have to talk to. He is a little eccentric at the moment. So hopefully
Of course.
tomorrow we'll bring some sort of good... how do I say this? Frustrations out.
Of
Able to deal
course.
with the tigers. Because I know for a fact he hates... He absolutely hates the council at the moment. I just don't know his standing with the Fallen, but at this rate, we might not have to have the Fallen. We'll have to use them, and we have to protect them, because we need them back eventually. That's why we need to coordinate with them. That's what I'm trying to do.
I hope
As
who
much
doesn't
as-
object to that idea either.
Indeed. We should probably try to send people who are emotionally compromisable. People who act on emotion. To go there.
I'm already working on that, actually. Jest has been unstable lately. Heavily. Wants to get out. Doesn't like the state of affairs. He's not the most
Right.
rational kid. He's been bringing it up to me repeatedly.
Has he been told?
He doesn't know anything about the plan. That makes it even more risky. Best to, Howdy.
It will... be
How do they
quite the
talk to
big
him?
risk. As much as we want to. It would be very, very, very good if we could bring everyone into this, but oh dear, is it a big risk?
Yes, it is. I'm actually even planning on talking to Mr. Toku to see if we can talk to Mr. Flint. Because if he
Flint
is indeed a Toku supporter, we just have to spin it in a way that highlights Toku. We need that's what I'm saying. We need everyone on this plan and not have to second guess anyone else's actions. So we can all trust in one another not to do anything.
He is a Toku supporter, but he's also a kid. A very conflicted, unstable kid.
I don't
is
know
what-
if... Well, I don't know how Mr. Toku would react. But in the very least, I would tell him that we need everyone on the same page to prevent accidents like last time.
Indeed, that is the problem. It's all fine and hunky-dory if we have plans to do anything drastic and stupid further down the line. As long as for the now, we're all on the same page.
Would be less trouble for him, too, I suppose.
Indeed.
If people understand that
And
why
so if we can...
they need to stand in line.
Indeed. And if we can, and that is what we're trying to do. Once we are able to get everyone in the Whispers all together, one happy family to go for the common cause, not to split up and do anything drastic again. We can start coordinating with the Fallen. So they can, once they're able to get their foothold, find their hiding spot, and actually keep it, they can actually start doing things themselves to push against Marlowe City.
You take care of Toku. Leave Jester to me. I know the kid.
Of course.
We've been in this together since day one, during the same time. And he trusts me. So.
If you can, try to prevent him from leaving.
I told you, he's not entirely the most, stable. Very rowdy kid. Everything's been snowballing lately. He's leaving. That's almost certain. I want to make sure he does it the right way.
There is no right way at this point, because I hope he knows that he will be coming back.
That's the thing. He doesn't know anything about the plan. He just wants out.
Then we need to tell him. You need to
Yeah,
tell him.
I'll take care of that. Yeah.
Because if we have more people leaving, that's going to prevent people from following Mr. AJ and Mr. Toku, which is going to look bad on both parts.
AJ is a problem.
Not to
Always
mention,
was,
we
but
are...
especially now.
I can fix that. Tomorrow I'm already having a plan.
Of course,
I feel like
I
it's more like
don't
a Toku
actually.
problem to fix.
Actually, you're right. No, because well, of course, it should fall onto Mr. Toku, but there are two. There are two possibilities, right? There's in case number one, Mr. Adrian knows of the plan and doesn't know that we all already know, and that is why he is acting as he does. Is case number one, he is a
He must
victim
know
to.
he was fallen.
In that case,
He
he's
was
a
fallen
victim
for an
to the
extended period
same
of time.
fear and distrust that everyone else is. Case number two, he doesn't know. And he's following Mr. Toku. Or he's following the. Well. the act that Mr. Toku puts on. Rather than. Without knowing what needs to be done.
Because as it appears, at least for now, Mr. Toku is putting on a display.
Yeah.
Very good one.
And that is...
Too good,
I'm going to have
almost.
to accept. Indeed. He's putting on a display where we don't know if he is still with us, with the plan, or not.
Reasonably, that doesn't matter.
Now we...
The only thing that matters is whether or not he is content with his current position.
I don't know.
He doesn't have to be
I
all
don't know
for.
what he's going...
He doesn't have to be entirely for the plan in order for us to have converging goals.
We do not...
He wants Jelly dealt with.
And that's the thing, as there are certain things that have to happen, that we have to change. And hopefully one of those things will be fixed itself when we get to destroy Marlow City.
Well, that's the question in and of itself. What do you want to achieve at Marlow?
As I said, they have all the research there. If it's not at Ravenholm anymore, it's there.
So you're just interested in the research?
Remember why we're
interested in
losing to
stopping
the
that.
Tigers.
Indeed.
Yes.
There's a reason. The Hulks, they're able to... Just one can take out an entire base. Imagine if they perfect that.
Well, not everyone's so keen to destroy Marlow. There are some who want to keep it operational. But for the Whisperers.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Which is problematic.
Yes, that is...
Because everyone's going to have to agree on a course of action.
Yes, which is not going to happen.
Well, that's not the case. If it's destroyed, you
because
can't
that is the
undestroy it.
one thing. That is what Mr.
Problem
Toku
is where
wants.
Toku lies.
He wants it up. He specifically asked me if we do
Of course.
capture it to lead it. Head of research. Head of Marlow.
And that's where the problems will arise. Because of so many people so adamant on destroying it, and that's where we will hit a sort of get stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's going to be everyone against Toku in that moment.
Indeed. What we're going to have to do... But the problem is, even though he might want to change it and do all the fun stuff that he wants to do and say he wants to do for the Whisperers, still doesn't change the fact that it is Marlow City. Needs to be destroyed. Needs to be. I don't
And
know.
what would the good doctor want with the place? Destroyed or run?
I don't know because
No idea.
probably still around because they want it for now at least up to send whisperers to.
They already have been.
That's what I've been saying.
Yeah.
Unless that changes, that is why we are against the council at the moment.
It's true, but if they do take it over, then it becomes even more problematic because then it's their funny farm, not the tigers, which means even more whisperers there.
Indeed, that is why we're going to destroy it. That is the plan.
I'm just concerned about what council support Toku will bring in once we take it. Because that's
We're not
going
going to be taking it. We're going to be blowing it up.
No, I mean to try and take it. Because when we hit Marlow, that's when the big guns come out. Because that is the target. Even for the council, it's a target.
Is the plan. We need to destroy it.
Yes, but
or without the council.
My point is that when we go there to destroy it, we're probably going to have council support because of how significant it is, which means
Speaking
a
of
lot
which,
of big guns on our side until we decide to destroy it, which is our objective from the start, might not be the council's. And then all of those big guns are pointed at us when we say no to Toku. We need to be prepared for that. We need things that can deal with that. Yeah.
Yes, that's why we're not doing it anytime soon. That is why we need to get gather up together first as the Hollow. Unified as one. Then we plan with the black and whites.
At least they're already arming up.
We do need to think about
Indeed.
how we actually go about destroying an entire city.
Actually, indeed. But the problem is we need to get everyone out first.
Yeah.
That is what we're going to have to do. It's going to be a siege and a half. We need to figure out a way to reduce every single building in there to rubble.
You think,
or at least the important
ones. Crazy thoughts. Maybe nothing comes of it, but Federation already raised Ravenholm. You think they'd be interested in repeating the act?
Took it over from what I heard.
They destroyed it and are now rebuilding upon it, as last I've heard.
Yeah.
If it were suddenly to be
Federation is problematic.
unguarded.
Problem with
Or
the
even a short
Federation
time
is
period.
that
Of
they're
course,
not
we
gonna
can't
do
rely on
anything
that.
unless there's a very, very big problem to begin with. Otherwise, they would have already done something about it.
Of course.
How do you plan to get the feds involved on that?
Well, we shall see. Destroying an entire city,
Especially
we will.
Our scope at this point.
Of course, of course.
Can't rely
Especially
on anyone else
when,
except ourselves.
Especially when someone like Malleus McKay can just pay off certain people to leave it alone.
That's the point.
We will need resources
That whole
then
line of
to actually,
thinking
well,
isn't needed, sadly. What we need to do is, for now, make sure everyone stays with their respective groups. We all stay in the Whispers. The Fallen stay in the Fallen. They restructure. They get everything started again. We need to restructure and get everything started again ourselves. We need to be unified. And that is simply...
But again, that is problematic under AJ, because he's the one who's going to be leading that restructuring if he's in charge.
Of
At
course.
this rate, he will be more or less somewhat of a figurehead in that department.
He already is. But the problem is if he tries to start asserting authority. He already tried to play the dictator day one.
And you
boasts
realize that that's not the best idea, don't worry. You already saw what happened when he tried. 4 or 5 people left, right?
Well, the
If
the ones that were always from there originally, and then 4 of ours.
facts are easily ignored, but results are a bit harder to ignore, so.
Indeed.
Especially since
As
these are now
long as
happening
they
on his
can-
watch.
Indeed, and that is what we're trying to fix. So all we have to do is to watch Miss Yuna. Or at least this is what you have to do. Watch Miss Yuna, make sure Chester is... Just tell them, don't push him to the fallen, because eventually they will have to come back, as per the plan.
If we can work the Yuna angle, hopefully she'll stop hunting Yuffie as well.
But that's the thing, we are going to have to quote-unquote hunt the fallen as well. And shoot at them.
Of course.
This is why I'm trying to have a conversation with Miss MB to get this all in line. It's going to have to be a matter of fact that people are going to die. We are going to have to shoot at them, they're going to have to shoot at us. They probably might kill a lot of us. We're going to try to prevent it, of course, but in the end of the day, we will have to shoot at each other.
I just hope they're smart enough to understand that.
Hope they're smart
That's why
enough
I'm
to
trying
make sure their
have
aim's a little bit
a
off.
conversation with them.
Well, at least I have everything I need to pursue the Yuna angle now.
Perfect.
Of course.
Between what MB told me and both those videos recently, I should be able to get pretty much any answer I need. At least in regards to where her loyalties lie.
Yes, that's the other thing. I'm gonna have to talk to... Preferably I talk to everyone before we can get Slick and Jackie back into the fold. Because I can't trust them if they're going to act out on their emotions.
Like I said, they were a bit more defensive about all of that. I think King was the one acting on emotion. They made a bad
Doesn't
move,
matter.
but they were just being protective to begin with.
Doesn't
No,
matter.
we can't have
That's the
have
sad
emotions getting in the way.
We can't... In that situation, King, when he attacked, they shouldn't have fought back. They should have let him die. For everyone else's sake. For the family. As much as it hurts, just think that, how much it sucks. That is the sad truth of it.
Necessary sacrifices.
Because of his own actions.
Acceptable casualties.
No, not acceptable casualties.
One to
The
save
only
3.
reason why he died was because of his own actions.
Exactly. You know, I thought
His actions, of course, hurt the rest of us
when I made my
as
deal
well.
with him. The idea of acceptable casualties. He was very on board with it.
The only time acceptable casualties are acceptable is when they are unavoidable. Which almost every single casualty can be avoidable.
If you plan it properly.
That's
And actually
is
do
the
it.
plan. Indeed.
Hmm.
So,
That's the hard
hopefully
part, though.
today will show. Hopefully tomorrow will actually show a good day. Boost morale. Actually fight back against the tigers. It's just the fact that we should have picked a better target other than a random tiger base.
Of course, but oh well.
We'll have to make do with
I'm
what
sure
we
we'll
have.
all be. I'm sure we'll all be on the same page soon enough. Yeah. That being said, future emotional outbursts will be unacceptable. It almost. I know we are working on retention, but well, maybe I'm not as optimistic as you are. Promise me if
Some will change.
if we identify a problem,
Some will have to go.
Exactly. Someone is unwilling to or unable to follow, then they're a liability. Not only to themselves, but to all of us. Perhaps you are more optimistic
Sadly,
than I
yes,
am.
that is the case.
But
So
I
we have to
foresee a couple
prevent
of
them
problems.
from continuing to be a liability. Talk to Jester. Tell him everything.
I told you. He's been
Of
like
course.
that for a long time. Always has been rowdy. Now he has lots of his little reasons to leave. He's been, like I said, he's been here the whole time I have and has seen everything I have. All the different situations, all the different deaths, all the executions. Now all of this chaos. And I said he's not as stable as we are. So
Try
that
to
affects him
become
differently.
his rock.
I have been since we've been here. I'm the one he confides in, and I'm the one he comes to.
bit
That
of-
doesn't change the fact that he is tossed by all of the things going on. He can't
Mr.
look
Shade?
at AJ and see a leader. He's got a mind of his own.
Then be
He's
his
rowdy.
In this aspect, I believe I am maybe slightly more of an optimist, because people, at least most of them, are smart and can think for themselves. Not knowing what's going on, people are naturally confused, and they understand that something is wrong, but without knowing what the plan is, they have the wrong impression of our leaders. I was fairly confused before I knew.
Possible.
I knew something was up.
Same.
But
And we don't want to have another dock situation, do we? Because that's what I was actually going to almost follow in his footsteps, apparently. Not to a T,
Yeah.
but close.
Doc, Irie, all of that. Problem with Jester is he's been wanting to leave
What?
for days now. I've been
If this
stalling
fails,
him. I've been keeping him in place.
we are following in his
He
footsteps.
just keeps bringing it up.
Then just talk to him. That's all you have to do.
I plan to, but he's not that kind of kid, Nick. He's
If he's gonna leave anyway, there is no harm in trying.
I will try. I will try hard. Better that we keep him. I know he
And even-
listens to me. a loyal kid. He's put his neck on the line for me before, but he's headstrong, and if he gets an idea, he becomes determined.
If he knows, right? If it
Yeah.
is
Don't
inevitable
talk to
that he
him.
leaves, we can. If it is inevitable that he leaves, it would be better. Of course, I understand.
Nothing's inevitable. It's just likely. Because
Well, in
his
that
main-
case, we should
If you
probably.
can't talk to him about this, then I will have to.
Oh, I plan to talk to him about it.
In that case, he should
That's the whole
probably
idea.
still know, if he is to be in the Fallen,
And
that
trust
he is to be working with us.
in the fact that, indeed,
He will know
Even
if he's in the fall. Yeah, but I am going to be talking to him. That's been the plan all along. I'm just making you aware that he's been on this idea for a while.
understood.
Of course.
That just
In either
changes
And
case.
his main complaint is what I've been bringing up constantly. He's one of those who doesn't feel like it's a family here. And blah, blah, blah. The reason that half the people went to the Fallen to begin with. He's one of those. He is emotionally driven. He's that kind of person. Rhyme and reason doesn't sit the same way with some people as it does with others. Some are not driven as logically and reasonably as we are. We see facts, we see information, we act on logical conclusions. Then you have people like King acting on emotion.
If only.
Jester is further on that spectrum.
If only people could see that at this rate, defecting hurts the Fallen just as much as it hurts us. But I understand that we can't convince everyone of that. Regardless, it doesn't
I
matter
can
what the case
probably,
is. It will be
stall
better
him
for
another
us
week or so. Yeah.
if you talk to him.
Give him time to try and settle in. If things can smooth out a bit here in that time, then that helps. If he feels a bit more connected, if he feels a bit more like it's a family, which is going to be a lot of your responsibility. Because, of course, people here don't trust me. So that whole uniting people thing, being the glue, holding them together, that's going to have to be you two working on that. Probably along with Slick and Jackie, because at the moment we have about 4 different leaders. We've got you trying to run things. We've got Slick and Jackie on their side of things with their loyal followers. We've got AJ trying to be the figurehead and the official leader, etc. And then we've even got Toku. That's why we're so divided and so disparate and so not like a family.
And that is why
Yep.
we must seek out those who are currently viewed as, well, de facto leaders, and all of us must visibly put our trust in AJ. Because then,
Indeed.
you
If
know,
anything,
those.
he is our spokesperson. That is how we're gonna have to look at it.
Yep.
And hopefully, once we actually get this, we can have a talk once he's been scanned to make sure he doesn't have any bugs on him. We can have this talk.
But if we are to visibly
It's
put
interesting,
our
though.
trust in him, then those who trust us will follow. The same for Miss Jackie and Mr. Slick. Not those; they might be a bit more difficult, but
Indeed,
well,
that is what I'm trying to do.
it must be done.
I'm going to talk to Miss Caro as soon as I can, when I see her again as well. Because I know that she is devastated over King's death.
So is the pain train as a whole.
All we have to do now is wait. I have a plan that we're going to be executing. You two have your plans that you're going to be executing. And I think that is that.
I'll handle Jester and Yuna. It's easy enough.
Indeed.
We'll handle Mr. Crunch. Is there anyone else from the original group that we missed? My memory is foggy. We of
He's
course
gonna
have
be
Mr.
working on
Aaron
Gil.
and Miss Jess.
Yes, tomorrow hopefully I can work with Mr. Gill on this, as well as see who else is going and work with that. To see on the car ride back we can actually have a conversation. Because I know Mr. Gill is going, and I know
Hopefully you
Jess
can,
is going.
Hopefully you trust everyone in the car.
Mr. Casey is there, so... And I don't know
If you get Crunch on side, that should be fine. As long as he follows his leader.
He has a level head. At the very least. We shall start with those or we should start with those who do have level heads. Before moving to those who don't. Once we have if we have somewhat of a majority, then
because the ones who don't have a level head are the ones most likely to leave sooner rather than later. That's a problem.
It is, but
all we have to do is convince him in a way to stay.
Exactly.
That is what I am fairly confident I can do.
Really, it's just to cut our losses. I suspect, doesn't matter if we don't get everyone.
Fallen as well.
Those who we can't get, well, the problem should solve itself. But we should get as many as we can.
Word for it. Doesn't quite solve the problem, it just transfers it a bit.
That's
of course.
Right, I think Mr. Flint is going as well. 1 second, let me look up the roster.
The grass is,
Flint?
The grass is pretty shit on both sides of the fence. I wish people understood that. It's not, in fact, greener.
If I'm not mistaken, it's going to be Mr. Flint, Mr. Gill, Mr. Darius, Mr. Crunch, Miss Jess, myself, and Mr. Casey. So, we won't be able to ask them afterwards, but we can scan them all.
Of course. That will be a benefit.
And do a general health checkup to make sure everything's alright. Because sooner or later, people with cybernetics are going to have to get scanned. And we've already talked about this. So, everything I think we've talked about that needs to be talking about too has been stated. Is there anything else that we should bring up?
Not currently. Once I know more about you now, I'll get back to you, of course.
Of course.
I am very interested in that blindfolded individual, though. Because that's just a weird thing that doesn't match up with anything we've dealt with so far. It's not Fallen, it's not Tigers, it's not even Shriekers, it's just a strange Una connection.
And that is up to you to figure out.
Shouldn't be too difficult now, thanks to what I was told. Anyway, I need to head off and get some things done. Give my regards to MB whenever you might see her. Farewell, one and all.
Indeed. Have a good one, Mr. Shade.
Oh, good evening. Mine too, I suppose. Or my regards too.
Yes. I do plan on probably bringing you. So you won't have to send her your regards. Well, you can just do that in person. But first things first, we need to get the hollow in order.
Of course,
I'll
of
try
course.
to... Yes, speak to Mr. Crunch. Explain why I seem very untrustworthy. Because to the untrained eye, I probably am.
Of course, I'll...
If they don't know, I look like I am one who would try to do something like that. Be shady and all that, which, in all honesty,
I'll get him on board, no worries. I'll... can do the same. That's why there are more of us.
Indeed, I'm probably going to talk to
All of
Mr.
us.
Gill tonight via text.
Oh, also, in addition to Mr. Crunch, I'll have to pick another person to begin observing. There are a couple of others, I believe. Who we need to,
Yes, I believe that list involves Mr. Crunch, Mr. Casey. I don't know if Mr. Darius knows.
I don't remember him being there. So I doubt.
Right, Mr. Darius,
And there are some of the others, such as, some of our newer members, I suppose.
Yes, Mr.
If I remember...
Miss Caro.
Yeah, of course, I remember Mr. Aaron. I remember... And Miss Jess. Who else was there?
Mr. Rat, Mr. Cecil.
Rat, Cecil.
I know they were there.
I believe Miss Caro was there. Miss Mute? She's always so...
No, Miss Caro was there.
Miss Caro was there?
And Miss Mute.
Uh-huh. Well, regardless, we need to... If we can get enough people to support Mr. Toku, and perhaps with enough of us, we can convince Mr. AJ to do so as well.
Indeed.
May or may not be difficult for him depending on what he knows, but... Of course, but... I think we could put him into a situation where... Well, he doesn't have much choice other than to accept what's going on.
Indeed, that is what I'm planning to do.
This is, of course, the
He
higher
can't run
authority.
away from his problems anymore, if he has been running. So it would be quite easy. I know what he's trying to do as well. He's trying to get people who were not associated with the originals to be put in thing to be just simply worst case scenario.
And that should not be a problem if we are all on the same page. If everyone knows that it's a game of pretend, then all these otherwise questionable decisions will be more easily overlooked.
Indeed, and once we get everyone in, including Mr. AJ, we can actually start talking to the other people like Mr. Alex and all of the fun stuff. Right. I think I left my drink over there back at the other booth. I just realized. Damn.
Performances probably ended.
That's probably over.
Reason that we, All right. Understood. Is there anyone else you wished me to talk to? Because Mr. Crunch is the only one who has directly confided within me, so he should be fairly easy. Anyone that you foresee having troubles with that I might be able to better?
I don't know if there's anyone who have troubles seeing me and not you.
Need to split up,
But yes, we will be I will be delegating some people to you, so we can do it faster.
Of course. And do not wish
I was
to
thinking you can
overlap.
Yes, I was thinking you can get Miss Jess to talk to Mr. James about it. When you can,
Of course, the two of us.
If you think he's a good...
Of course.
Yes, if you think he's a good fit to watch. He's still new and everything,
He is
so we don't know yet.
fairly new. He is fairly new. We'll keep an eye on him.
Indeed.
I, of course, shall be doing my best to help our medical team.
Indeed. So for now,
Take,
we shall be just doing Mr. Crunch, or informing Mr. Crunch, while I'll be talking to everybody else. who has already been told to make sure they are aware
All
of
right,
what's going on.
I'll keep an eye on Mr. James and attempt to perhaps loosely direct him in a so to
Yes.
speak.
Get him to be your friend and all that fun stuff. Right. Let us go.
Next project, I suppose.
Indeed.
I do hope for your success tomorrow. All of this will be a lot easier if people are in a good mood.
It will be.
And for everyone's sake, don't let anyone die. We've had enough of that recently.
Indeed.
Alright, so it's very clear that you're new here, since that surprised you.
Is here. How many dots is that?
Hi, you two. Have a nice afternoon.
Have a good one, sir.
Cape,
Have a good evening.
jackets.
Thank you.
You take care of yourself, okay?
Will do. Will do.
I'm about to shut these two up in a minute.
Oh, would like to leave,
I know he was
please?
always broken.
I can
but
take
now
somebody
he's
over
actually
here.
broken.
Right? Yes, if you want to.
Hey, dude.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you.
Let me see yours.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Thank
Guess
you.
I've just been used to it.
Welcome.
You ready?
Yes. Woo.